If you don't think there's hope for the world, why bother going on?
You haven't seen the world, so you don't know. You keep going for family.
I'm not family.
No? You're cargo.
I want to explain to you what The Last of Us is by telling you what The Last of Us is not. It's not a zombie TV series, and it's not a soulless Netflix show whose sole purpose is to garner high viewership and constantly remind the audience of that. The Last of Us is an adaptation of a video game, and there are many scenes in the TV series that are directly taken from the game. However, we cannot simply label it as just a video game adaptation. The Last of Us is a series with deep, complex characters and meaningful things to say about the world we live in. It's a high-quality TV series that you can enjoy even without any prior knowledge of the game. I haven't come across a show that caters to such a large audience, takes its viewers so seriously, handles complex emotion, and delves so deep without knowing anything about the original game. The Last of Us depicts a world set 20 years after a zombie outbreak. We see a world where people live in closed cities under harsh conditions. There is no main character. Joel, our protagonist, is tasked with escorting a young girl named Ellie to the other side of the country for a hefty sum due to events in his past that he never wants to remember. I found the pacing of the series a bit slow in the middle of the first episode, which I think was due to Joel's reluctance to express his emotions. In today's society, there are many people who consider it strange for men to show their emotions openly. I believe everyone is aware that it's not a good idea to bottle up emotions, as it becomes harder to cope with them the more we keep them to ourselves. On the other hand, our other main character Ellie is constantly making jokes, rebellious, and sometimes annoying, but overall very likable. As the story progresses, we see her character grow and we start to understand her better, and we also get accustomed to the pacing of the show. Since our characters are constantly on the move, we meet new people and groups in each episode. Some people are shown to have lost their sanity, while others are shown to be living in a more controlled manner. It was interesting to see the different reactions of each group to the events happening around them. The main plot of the series is exactly this: to witness the two main characters clinging to life with small jokes and small gestures amidst the dark backdrop of all this destruction. The series tries to remind us of the advantages and beauties we have in our zombie-free world by using this destroyed world. Of course, this doesn't mean that wanting our life conditions to be better is a bad thing. I wanted to clarify the sentence because there are some who think that wanting something better is an insult. The third episode, which didn't focus on the main characters, was very good. The episode tells the story of a paranoid, introverted, and socially isolated man who prepared himself for the apocalypse while living in the normal world before the zombie outbreak. There are many people who have armed their homes with guns in America. I was very moved as I saw the character's transformation as the episode progressed. We watched an episode that deals with loneliness, love, and death. It was also nice to see the series focusing on characters instead of action and zombies. Nowadays, the biggest problem with TV shows and movies is the story and screenplay. If there is no good story, no matter what the director and actors do, a good outcome will not be achieved. The writers aim to make the moments when the zombies appear and the violence in those moments more impactful and striking by reducing the number of zombie scenes in the series. While I am happy with this decision, I wouldn't mind seeing slightly more scary and tense zombie scenes in the second season. There are two names behind the series, including the creator of the story and game from the Uncharted games, Dragman. Our friend didn't see it as a series that would make a lot of money, and although he didn't object to the Uncharted movie being a classic Hollywood box office film aimed at kids, he did everything he could to make The Last of Us adaptation good. Apart from the clean and progressive story, I also liked that the series was shot like a documentary without trying to be overly cinematic. Our friends were successful in selecting and incorporating the good features of the game into the series, and we see Trollbacker, who played the son in the game, in a small role in the series. By the way, Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey deliver very impressive performances in the series. They carry the show well in the slower parts. Our friend, the writer, was a successful student as the child of two teachers. He graduated with honors from the psychology department of Ringston, one of America's most prestigious schools. Despite his family's objections, he went to Hollywood to pursue a career in the entertainment industry. He started his career as a screenwriter by writing parody comedy films, and achieved great financial success with the Hangover series. However, instead of chasing financial success after graduating, he decided to create the Chernobyl series, which addresses the problems caused by silencing criticisms. In the first scene, we are presented with a familiar scene from Chernobyl, with a scientist explaining an event.
When the truth offends, we lie and lie until we can no longer remember it is even there, but it is still there. Every lie we tell incurs a debt to the truth. Sooner or later, that debt is paid.
Our friend explains how people could turn into zombies years before the events due to fungi. Now, let me talk about the season finale of the series. Just a heads up. I was genuinely surprised after watching the last episode. While the series did many things right, it was telling us a familiar story in terms of the relationship between two characters. If it had continued in the way we're used to, Ellie would have found a cure for the disease before losing his life, and our friends would have continued to live together after everything was resolved. Or at worst, they would have stopped the surgery that would cause Joel's death and looked for another solution to the problem. However, it didn't go that way. The final episode completely reversed the cliches. Throughout the season, we saw Joel, who had long lost himself, finding himself again and holding on to life thanks to Ellie. However, in the last episode, Joel's love took a very sad turn, because his relationship with Ellie didn't remind him of the beauty of life. Their bond only reminded our friend that he could be happy with Ellie alone. It didn't help Joel to take care of himself and see his strengths and weaknesses. Joel was a wounded person, and after his wound was healed, he did everything he could to avoid getting hurt again. Yes, it's not surprising that he formed such an unhealthy relationship with Ellie, considering he had lost his child. In fact, we had already seen in the first episode that Joel was capable of such things. As events unfolded, Joel chose to move forward instead of helping stranded people on the road. And throughout the 8 episodes, our friend killed people unnecessarily to get the information he wanted, even though he didn't have to. In the season finale, we saw that Joel made an incredibly selfish and unacceptable move. It was absurd for the revolutionaries to suddenly take the daughter of the person who could potentially find a cure for millions of people without even mentioning the salvation of those millions through Ellie's immunity. However, what Joel should have done here was to ensure that Ellie woke up and asked her what she wanted. Because if they had asked, Ellie would likely have accepted to die in order to save millions of people. In fact, at the beginning of the episode, when Joel told Ellie we can go back and live a normal life if you want, we saw that Ellie wanted to continue the journey to save people. One of the things I liked in the episode was that Joel's actions were not portrayed as something good. After all, we have spent a lot of time with the character and developed a lot of empathy towards him. The sudden shift in the story could have led some viewers to think that those who criticized the decision were right. However, what the majority did was clearly shown to be wrong. I enjoyed the season finale, but I would have liked to see Ellie and Joel together a bit more before this episode. In the 2 episodes before, our characters were separated. Ellie went through incredibly tough experiences, and in the season finale, she lost her old energy and became a more melancholic person. As a result, roles changed, and Joel started making jokes to make her happy. I would have liked to see this explored a bit more. However, I don't have a major objection to the current state of the episode. What do you think will be the outcome of Joel's actions? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching the video, and goodbye.